corpse-raising ghost was about to lose his temper with Lean Ma. The ever-loyal chainsaw ghost could not stand it either and was ready to confront him. Corpse-raising ghost, not one to back down, engaged in a brawl with him right there and then. Just at that moment, Lean Ma, who had just awakened, opened the backpack brought back by Achio, preparing to absorb the ghost pearls to enhance the level of his contracted ghost. The large bag was full enough to satisfy both ghost martial actor and ghost leading lady. As the system upgrade sounds continuously rang out, ghost martial actor, nourished by a massive amount of ghost pearls, advanced directly to the junior evil spirit level, simultaneously activating his third skill, Rage, which allowed him to stack critical hits up to 60% while taking damage. Ghost leading lady also advanced to the evil spirit level, activating a new skill that could not only heal but also increase the attack speed of allies. These two ghosts were indeed a natural pair, with a 100% compatibility in attack and support skills, doubling the combat power of ghost martial actor. Lean Ma, pleased, packed up the ghosts, watching his partners receive epic enhancements. Meanwhile, corpse-raising ghost, standing beside him, was so anxious that he stamped his feet. Lean Ma, that's not fair. To help you, I now have only a few zombies left in my hand. Those were my stock accumulated over hundreds of years. Pfft, a bunch of stinky meat treated like treasures. It's not even edible. If you keep talking to Lean Ma like that, I'll mince you up in minutes. You little brat. What do you mean by that? Want to have a go at me? Am I giving you too much face? The two ghosts immediately began wrestling with each other, while big-breasted ghost and blood-pupiled ghost cheered them on. This scene gave Lean Ma a headache. Having more contracted ghosts is good, but they are too noisy. He then stepped forward to separate the two ghosts. Corpse-raising ghost, don't worry. As soon as Achio comes back, I will immediately borrow his knife to go to the deserted graves, and I'll make sure you're completely satisfied. After calming down corpse-raising ghost and chainsaw ghost, Lean Ma suddenly remembered that he hadn't finished his homework yet. He quickly assigned ghost leading lady and big-breasted ghost to do the work for him, while he sat down leisurely and started browsing his phone. A message suddenly caught Lean Ma's attention. It turned out that military materials escorted by the security bureau had been completely looted. The loss of ghost pearls was valued at over 10 million. This must be Enrant's doing, but how did they manage to rob so much with just 3 of them? Lean Ma pondered about Enrant's actions. Meanwhile, Black Little Fat and Achio had finished their classes and returned to the dormitory. Lean Ma, you're awake. Can't skip the afternoon classes, right? Lean Ma calmly replied, I still need to skip, but I need your help to submit my homework. Damn, you're awesome, getting ghosts to do your homework. Too bad my trashcan ghost can't do a thing with its 5 indistinct fingers. Seeing Black Little Fat so downcast, Lean Ma quickly reassured him. The trashcan ghost can be trained to write with its mouth. This deeply moved Black Little Fat, who was brought to tears. Lean Ma gave the 2 high-level ghost beads rewarded by the security bureau to Achio. Thanks a lot, Achio, and to your uncle too, my good brother. And one more thing, can I borrow your razor again? Achio gladly agreed. Later at night, Lean Ma and corpse-raising ghost went to the desolate graveyard. Looking at the scattered graves, corpse-raising ghost was so excited that he started hopping around. Ha ha ha, finally, it looks like my zombie army is finally ready, he exclaimed, running straight towards the graves. At that moment, Lean Ma spotted a few desolate grave ghosts peeking around. He immediately called out to them, intending to assign them some tasks. Knowing Lean Ma's fearsome reputation, the desolate grave ghosts turned to run without a word. However, they had barely run 10 meters before Lean Ma grabbed one of them by the collar. Where do you think you're going? Kid, I'm not going to eat you. Hurry up and call out all your relatives. I need some help. I want to dig up all the bodies in this area. Now that the entire desolate graveyard area was under the control of the red-dressed female ghost, Lean Ma's commands were as effective as if they were issued by her. The ghosts did not dare to delay and quickly started digging with shovels, creating a flurry of activity. This scene left corpse-raising ghost utterly astonished. He had never imagined that Lean Ma, a human, would hold such a status in the ghost world. He promptly showered Lean Ma with flattery. As more and more bodies were unearthed, corpse-raising ghost eagerly infused them with ghost energy, rapidly inducing the growth of corpse hair. Meanwhile, ghost martial actor was also busy, skillfully wielding Achio's razor. In no time, a multitude of scalps were flying through the air. Most of the freshly bald zombies, chopped by ghost martial actor, were left with only half a head, but corpse-raising ghost didn't mind and gathered them all into body bags. This speed of raising corpses is just too fast. It seems like sticking with Lean Ma is really worthwhile, corpse-raising ghost remarked. Then, a system notification sounded, indicating that corpse-raising ghost's loyalty had increased by 30%. Lean Ma, watching this, was overjoyed. This guy seems to be just like Chainsaw Ghost. As long as their desires are fulfilled, turning them into permanent contracted ghosts is just a matter of time. Suddenly, a pair of soft arms wrapped around Lean Ma's waist, followed by a refreshing and enchanting fragrance. Husband, you don't care about me at all. You came to this desolate graveyard without even telling me. To punish you, you are not allowed to leave tonight. You must stay and keep me company, said the red-dressed female ghost, causing Lean Ma's legs to go weak as memories memories of that night resurfaced in his mind, frightening him into quickly responding, "I have urgent matters to attend to. What could be more important than me?" The red-dressed female ghost straightened Lin Ma's body and pressed closer to him. Lin Ma, blushing, muttered, "I heard the ghost scholar came to the graveyard. Yes, that kid came here to cause trouble, but I've already knocked him down and locked him up in the dungeon of the ancient house," instantly revitalizing Lin Ma. He excitedly grabbed her hand, a gesture that took her by surprise and made her think, "This boy has finally seen the light. Quickly take me to see the ghost scholar. I have important matters to discuss with him." Feeling the warmth of Lin Ma's hand, the red-dressed female ghost shyly agreed, "I'll do as my husband wishes." Inside the ancient house's dungeon, the sound of clanging echoed incessantly. "You wretched woman, just wait until my army arrives. I'll make sure this little building of yours is reduced to ashes," shouted the ghost scholar as he furiously shook the iron bars of his cell. "Brother ghost scholar, it's been a while. How did you end up in such a state?" "It's you, kid. How did you end up here?" "It's not important why I'm here. What's important is that your vast wave ghost domain has been taken down by the army. What about your ghost underlings? How many are left? Where are they hiding?" Lin Ma's words shocked ghost scholar. "What do you mean by asking this? Are you a military officer from Zhou country, here to capture me?" Lin Ma looked at ghost scholar, a harmless smile on his face. "Of course not. You let me go last time in Vast Wave City, so I'm here to return the favor. Don't talk nonsense. You, a weak dual-layer ghost master, want to save me? Are you connected in the ghost world or something?" As soon as ghost scholar finished speaking, a beautiful ghost hand suddenly grabbed his neck. "If you continue to act tough towards my husband, I'll strip you and feed you to the dogs," threatened the red-dressed female ghost. Lin Ma quickly grabbed red-dressed female ghost's arm. "Calm down, calm down. I haven't finished talking yet." Seeing red-dressed female ghost calming down, ghost scholar was once again stunned. "What's the deal with this kid? Not only is he protected by a letter from the king of hell, but he also has such a beautiful ghost as a wife. He must be powerful enough not to deceive me. So, how do you plan to save me?" Lin Ma, sensing an opportunity, patted ghost scholar on the shoulder and said sincerely, "Become my contracted ghost. Then the army will have no reason to arrest you." "Cut it out. I thought you had a better idea. How can I, a near ghost king, become a contracted ghost to a kid like you? You're aware that you're a near ghost king, yet you let your years of hard work go down the drain so easily. It's utterly embarrassing." It seems the ancient saying is true, a scholar is good for nothing. Ghost scholar, veins bulging with anger, retorted, "A little brat with not even a full set of hair. How dare you speak to me like this? I have studied poetry and literature extensively. I understand astronomy and geography, and the classics I've read are at least 1,000 times more than what you've seen. Reading a lot only makes you a bookworm. Let's do this. I'll challenge you with what you're best at. I'll come up with the first half of a couplet, and if you can match it, I'll admit you're clever." Grinding his teeth, ghost scholar nodded. "Ha, I've been matching couplets since I was 5. Bring it on. Listen well. The first half of my couplet is, sail misty lakes, with a tin flask in tow, in tin's reflection, lake's beauty aglow." As expected by Lin Ma, ghost scholar, who claimed to have been matching couplets since age 5, was now sweating profusely, muttering about West Lake and tin flasks. He was completely at a loss. "Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I've read thousands of books. How can I not come up with a response? Your couplet must be wrong. You probably don't even know the answer yourself." As the system notification of ghost scholar's emotional collapse reached 30%, Lin Ma saw his chance. "You can't match it because you're simply not clever enough. The second half of the couplet is, seek learn scholars, through lenses they peep, in nearsighted quests, their wisdom they keep." Lin Ma's merciless taunting enraged ghost scholar, who lost all reason and was determined to prove himself. Lin Ma calmly proposed, "Go ahead, give it your best shot. First half, up and down, not a sign of oppression. Together we build a harmonious session. Second half, in and out, not a brute intrusion, fostering a new generation, a noble conclusion." With Lin Ma's couplet presented, the red-dressed female ghost shyly tugged at Lin Ma's arm. "Husband, you're so naughty. I love it." As Lin Ma delivered his clever retorts and couplets, ghost scholar was infuriated to the point of being speechless. "Damn, what kind of responses are these? They're an insult to the literary world. Cut the excuses. Just admit whether I matched it correctly or not." Ghost scholar, at a loss for words, faced a system notification indicating his emotional collapse had reached 70%. Trying once more, ghost scholar recited, "Big fish devour small, small fish chase shrimp, shrimp feast on water, revealing stone's imprint." Lin Ma countered, "How about this? Master presses mistress, mistress weighs on bed, bed presses the earth, shaking mountains with dread." Ghost scholar spat out blood in shock and anger. You vulgar person, what an insult to the literary world." At this point, the system detected ghost scholar's emotional collapse at 99%, making it possible for Lin Ma to forcibly sign a contract. Feeling triumphant, Lin Ma draped an arm around ghost scholar's shoulder. "Buddy, we're family now." As ghost scholar stood there dumbfounded, a crisp crisp system notification rang in his ear. Mr. Ghost Scholar, congratulations on winning the lucky quiz. If you answer correctly, you'll be proudly promoted to Leanmaw's contracted ghost. Would you like to answer? No way, I give up. Congratulations, you've successfully snapped up the question. The challenge is, a truck carrying a high stack of fragile items is approaching a low bridge. How can it pass without breaking anything? The correct answer is give up some height. The contract signing process started, progressing to 10%. What? It's starting just like that? Ghost Scholar was completely flustered. A red light began to converge on Leanmaw's right arm, indicating the successful contract with Ghost Scholar. Leanmaw looked at the black and red fan-shaped mark on his arm, feeling a surge of excitement. After all, this was once a genuine near-ghost king. The red-dressed female ghost, witnessing her husband contract a ghost just by speaking, looked at him with admiration and bashfully praised Leanmaw's incredible skills. In his mind, Leanmaw smugly asked Ghost Scholar, "So, are you convinced now?" Ghost Scholar, with a mix of pride and stubbornness, replied, "You're somewhat skilled, kid, but to think that I, a near-ghost king, would become your subordinate worker, you're still not quite there. If we lack the power, then we'll make up for it with affection." As vast wave ghost domains, many evil ghosts were captured. Leanmaw immediately expressed his willingness to help rescue them. Upon hearing this, Ghost Scholar was deeply moved. "The reason I could safely escape the siege of Zhou country was entirely due to my brother's desperate efforts to cover my retreat. Masquerade Ghost and Exploding Ghost died on the spot, and although they managed to kill 4 5-tier ghost masters of the enemy, many of my subordinates were captured by the security bureau. They'll likely be given to some upper-class princes as contracted ghosts. For these wild ghosts accustomed to freedom, such a fate is worse than death." Thinking of this, Ghost Scholar was excitedly determined. "If you can rescue my brothers, I will be absolutely loyal to you from now on." Leanmaw firmly patted Ghost Scholar's right hand. "Let's swear on a handshake." "It's settled then. I will definitely bring your subordinates back safely." Leanmaw's emotional collapse points were quite abundant. Therefore, he generously activated all 3 of Ghost Scholar's skills. As surging ghost energy converged on Ghost Scholar, his power visibly skyrocketed. He successfully acquired the first skill, Knowledge, which allowed him to wave his fan and dispel all negative effects on himself, entering a stealth state with a 30% increase in movement speed. The second skill, Backstab, enabled him to quickly teleport behind an enemy within 20 meters, increasing back attack damage by 50%. The third skill, Ghost Shadows, created 2 ghostly images to fight alongside his true form, with the ghost images able to trigger the Backstab skill. Seeing the skill descriptions on the system panel, Leanmaw was overjoyed. This is a super assassin for sure. If we encounter another battle with Ghost Masters, Ghost Scholar can directly assault their rear and deliver a fatal blow to the Ghost Master himself. It seems Shai Feng did not deceive me. I've really found a treasure this time. Seeing my husband so happy, it must mean that things are settled. How about staying the night? Let me take good care of you. Leanmaw's expression suddenly froze as the memories of that night resurfaced in his mind, frightening him into quickly changing the subject. Right now, the army of Zhou country is preparing to act against the desolate graves. I've come to discuss the matter of relocation with the red-dressed female ghost. For a moment, the red-dressed female ghost seemed bewildered. Where should we retreat to? Let's go to Half-Demon's Den. There, humans and ghosts coexist. It's an ideal refuge for us. Ghost Scholar, standing by, reminded, "Will you come to see me then, husband?" The love-stricken red-dressed female ghost was filled with thoughts of Leanmaw. "Of course, I will. In the future, I'll need your help with many things." Leanmaw nodded affirmatively. Upon receiving Leanmaw's promise, the red-dressed female ghost quickly gathered all the ghosts from the desolate graves and headed straight for Half-Demon's Den in the northwest. Watching the departing figure of the red-dressed female ghost, Leanmaw felt a peculiar sensation in his heart. "When we part this time, I wonder when we will meet again." Upon Leanmaw's return to Ares Academy in the late night, as soon as he entered the school gates, he heard screams coming from the office building. He quietly approached and found one of the offices slightly ajar, emitting a strange light. What could be inside that room? Leanmaw had the blood-pupiled ghost use its abilities to investigate. However, the blood-pupiled ghost reported back, "The room is surrounded by prohibitions. I can't see anything clearly." This unknown matter further piqued Leanmaw's curiosity. It seemed he had to investigate personally. He used the skill of the sword ghost, One Sword Journey, and in an instant, a shadowy figure left Leanmaw's body, rushing at a speed of 800 meters per second towards the half-open door. Leanmaw controlled the shadow to peek into the room, and the scene inside shocked him. A man covered in blood-red runes was wailing continuously, and sitting beside him was his seemingly harmless and beautiful senior, Mu Wanqing, showing a strange smile. "Don't worry, you won't die. I will grant you eternal life." Just as Leanmaw was about to breathe a sigh of relief, Mu Wanqing seemed to sense something and abruptly turned to look towards the door. This sent a chill down Leanmaw's spine, and he quickly cancelled the One Sword Journey skill. The shadow at the door vanished instantly, returning to Leanmaw's body. "I hope I wasn't discovered," Leanmaw thought, sweating coldly. He was so focused on the half-open door in the distance that he didn't notice the oddity behind him. Mu Wanqing's deep voice suddenly rang in Leanmaw's ears. My dearest junior brother, what did you see? Startled, Lin Ma stepped back sharply, only to see Mu Wanqing, who was just in the room far away, now standing right before him. Since junior brother is here, I might as well grant you eternal life too. Lin Ma's body tensed up, and before he could speak, Mu Wanqing's tongue, unusually long, wrapped around his neck. An odd energy made him stiff, preventing him from summoning his contracted ghosts with his mind. Don't be nervous, little junior brother, I'll be very gentle, Mu Wanqing said, dragging Lin Ma towards the eerie room. Lin Ma's vision darkened, and his strong survival instinct made him desperately grab the corner of the wall. I've survived so many dangers, I can't fall here. Suddenly wake up, Lin. This is just an illusion, a voice said. Lin Ma then saw a blurry figure of Ghost Scholar, and in the next second, a folding fan struck his forehead heavily. Lin Ma felt the world spinning, and after a moment, everything in front of him slowly returned to normal. Drenched in sweat, Lin Ma realized he hadn't moved from his spot, and Ghost Scholar's fan was still gently pressed against his forehead. He understood that the ghost he had just contracted had saved him. When did I fall under this illusion? I didn't notice it at all. Blood-pupiled ghost, why didn't you react either? The blood-pupiled ghost grumbled in frustration. My vision is linked with yours, so I was affected by the illusion just the same. The illusion covered all your contracted ghosts. If it weren't for my ability to forcefully dispel it, we probably would have been done for. Maybe not necessarily. What we saw might have all been a mirage. The moment I pushed the door, I could have been affected. It might have been senior sister indirectly warning me to stay away from her research. With that realization, Lin Ma immediately took off running. Sorry, master, I really can't handle your ninth disciple. It's not that I'm not trying, but her power is just too overwhelming for me. As Lin Ma fled, a slight smile appeared on the corners of Mu Wanqing's lips. My little junior brother is really too cute. She sat with her chin in her hand, her face exuding an indescribable eeriness. In front of her was a crystal coffin covered in runes, with a man lying inside, continuously wailing. A mobile phone was placed on the edge of the coffin, displaying a missing person notice. The son of the owner of Clear Wind Tower's 13th floor, Chu Feng, is missing. A substantial reward is offered by Clear Wind Tower for information on his whereabouts. The next day, in the teaching building of Ares Academy, students were discussing a hot topic on the internet. Recently, many prominent figures had gone missing, and the security bureau and the military had even set up a special task force to investigate. Hearing this, Lin Ma felt a shock go through him, with the image of Mu Wanqing instantly coming to mind. Could it be? Could be what? Suddenly, someone patted Lin Ma on the shoulder. He turned around and saw it was senior sister Mu Wanqing. Looking at her harmless and pretty face, Lin Ma couldn't connect her with the terrifying figure from last night. I called you several times, but you didn't respond. What are you guys talking about? Lin Ma casually brushed off Mu Wanqing's inquiry, claiming that he was just chatting with Black Little Fat about some online gossip. Just then, his phone rang. It was a call from Anran. Eager to escape the uncomfortable situation, Lin Ma quickly made an excuse to leave, mentioning he had plans with Anran, and swiftly departed from the scene. You asked me to investigate the whereabouts of the ghosts from Vastwave Ghost Domain. I've got some news. Let's meet and talk about it. Lin Ma, of course, readily agreed. An hour later, Lin Ma finally arrived at the designated fried skewer spot. I'm so sorry for being late. I helped an elderly lady cross the street on my way here, he explained. Anran raised an eyebrow. Does it take an hour to help someone cross the street? Boss, you might not be aware, but on the way to Ares Academy today, there was a large-scale lingerie show. So, you were late because you were watching a lingerie show? Well, actually, I've been thinking of opening a lingerie store, just getting a sense of the market, Lin Ma awkwardly justified. Here I am, bringing you all these great things, and you're not even focused on cultivation, Anran said with annoyance, placing a bag of ghost beads on the table. Wow, did you rob all these from the security bureau? Of course, my Black Evil gang has expanded to 15 members now. The information you wanted was also gathered by them. Let's get to the point. A week ago, the security bureau held an auction, and Clear Wind Tower's 13th floor bought 11 high-tier wicked spirit-level ghosts. They also acquired 2 evil ghosts, Gambling Ghost and Frozen to Death Ghost. Rumors say that if you join them, you can contract a rare ghost. Clear Wind Tower. That name sounds familiar, and Rand pointed to several photos on the table. It's the second largest assassin organization in Zhou country. The 13th floor mainly handles assassinations. Their chief, Chu Lian, was assassinated after his son, Chu Feng, went missing. Lin Ma was shocked. Chu Feng? That kid is with senior sister Mo. We can't let anyone find out. Now that Clear Wind Tower is headless, only the second-in-command Lu Fengluan and the third-in-command Qing Tianda are competing for power. So, those ghosts haven't been contracted yet. Moreover, Lu Fengluan has personally purchased Smoke Ghost to give to his son, Lu Chengcheng, as a birthday gift. Our spies also found explosive news. Qing Tianda and Lu Fengluan's wife have been involved for a long time. It's highly likely that the child is Qing Tianda's, given their resemblance. Lu Fengluan, spending a fortune on Smoke Ghost for his son, probably doesn't know the truth yet. If we send these photos to Lu Fengluan and he realizes his son isn't his own, he wouldn't be the fool to waste his money. Then, we can buy it for a high price. Acquiring Smoke Ghost without a fight. Brilliant strategy. I'll send this great gift to Lu Fengluan right away. Wu Kuan picked up his phone and sent the photos. And Ran, perched atop a water tower opposite the Dehuang Hotel, received a message from Wu Kuan, who had been watching Lu Fengluan. The message stated that Lu Fengluan was rushing to the hotel to catch the adulterers, and Ran shared this with Lin Ma, who smirked, anticipating a dramatic scene. 5 minutes later, Lu Fengluan appeared at the hotel, choosing to sneak around to the back instead of entering through the front door. He skillfully reached the 4th floor balcony, where the unsuspecting couple inside were busy. Lu Fengluan watched from outside, motionless in the night. Why isn't Lu Fengluan reacting? His wife is with another man, and he's just calmly watching. And he's been there for 10 minutes. Could he have some special fetish? And Ran, listening to Lin Ma's musings, was visibly shocked. Just as she was about to ask Lin Ma about the fetish, Lu Fengluan finally moved. He silently climbed down one floor and then disappeared into the darkness of the street. Is he just leaving like that? Is he even a man? Wait, something's not right, Lin Ma exclaimed. As Lu Fengluan re-emerged from the shadows, he was wearing the disguise mask he typically used for assassinations. Is he preparing to attack the two people upstairs? But why the mask? Does he have some kind of compulsion where he must wear it to kill? Lin Ma wondered. However, the situation took another turn. Instead of going upstairs, Lu Fengluan accelerated in a different direction. What's going on? His target seems to be someone else. And Ran quickly summoned Nightmare Ghost, and they closely followed the swiftly moving Lu Fengluan from the air. Watching Lu Fengluan move rapidly on the ground, Lin Ma commented, "This is indeed a top-level assassin. Such agility." After a 10-minute chase, Lu Fengluan arrived at a villa. With a light leap, he vaulted over the wall and onto the 2nd floor. Could it be that Cheng Tianda's wife lives here? Is Lu Fengluan planning a tit-for-tat revenge? Unclear. Let me have Wu Kuan check who owns the villa, and Ran said. Meanwhile, Lin Ma recorded the scene unfolding inside the room. The camera captured a man in uniform briefly conversing with Lu Fengluan before being swiftly cut in the throat. It's Jianping's villa, another deputy director of the security bureau, and Ran informed. What does Lu Fengluan's cuckoldry have to do with the security bureau? Clear Wind Tower and the security bureau have always been on good terms. His action isn't a mission but a personal vendetta. As they spoke, Lu Fengluan had already leaped out of the villa and was running towards another location. It looks like he has more than one target tonight, Lin Ma deduced. Overnight, Lu Fengluan had shockingly assassinated 5 people from the security bureau, a leader of the ghost manipulation group, and a lecturer from Snow Phoenix. By 5 a.m., an exhausted Lu Fengluan discarded his disguise mask and wearily returned to his villa. Lin Ma and Ran, who had been tracking him all night, were puzzled. Even if he's venting his anger by killing, targeting these high-profile individuals seems counterintuitive. It would only bring more trouble to him, Lin Ma commented. Since we can't figure it out, let's not guess wildly. Why don't we just approach Lu Fengluan directly to purchase the Smoke Ghost? Soon after, they headed to the Lu family villa. Despite Lu Fengluan's expert assassination skills, his true cultivation level was only that of a 4-tier ghost master, which Lin Ma and Ran were not afraid to confront. 10 seconds after ringing the doorbell, Lu Fengluan's wife, Shuezime, opened the tightly locked door. "Hello, we're here to see Mr. Lu. Please come in," Shuezime said, turning and walking into the house with a swaying, serpentine gait. Lu Fengluan's wife seems very calm, not at all like someone who's had a quarrel. Maybe Lu Fengluan hasn't confronted her yet? "Honey, someone's here for you," Shuezime called upstairs sweetly. Soon, Lu Fengluan, still in his pajamas, came downstairs. Shuezime wrapped herself around him, planting a kiss on his face, then softly urged, "You just finished a task and must be tired. Rest early after your talk." Lu Fengluan smiled and agreed, but the moment his wife left, his expression darkened. With disgust, he wiped his cheek where the lipstick mark was. Lin Ma couldn't help but applaud. Mr. Lu truly is a top-tier assassin. Such endurance, internally disgusted, yet maintaining such intimacy on the surface. "Who are you? What are you talking about?" "Don't worry, Mr. Lu. Your family matters are none of our business. We're here for a simple transaction. The Smoke Ghost you personally acquired at an auction. Could we purchase it from you? We assure you a fair price." "Unfortunately, that's a birthday gift for my son." Lin Ma chuckled and probed. "Your son? Are you sure he's your son? What do you mean by that?" Lu Fengluan snapped. "You know exactly what I mean. Why waste such a precious gift on a child that isn't yours? It's better to sell it to us. You get the money and make new friends," Lin Ma suggested. At this, Lu Fengluan's fists clenched, veins bulging in anger. His pride as a man overrode his calm as a top-tier assassin. "Even if I don't give the Smoke Ghost to my son, I definitely won't sell it to you. Both of you, get out now." Lin Ma remained cool and easily dodged Lu Fengluan's swing. He quickly grabbed Lu Fengluan's wrist. "I know you're angry, but didn't your spree last night, taking down 7 big fish, calm your rage?" Lu Fengluan forcefully freed his hand from Lin Ma's grip. "So, you know everything, but the 7 people I killed, I've forged evidence at each scene. Once the security bureau starts investigating, it will all lead to Cheng Tianda. Even if you go to the security bureau, it won't affect me." "That makes sense. A man of your temperament, Mr. Lu, wouldn't tolerate being cuckolded. But why go through all the trouble of framing Cheng Tianda instead of just killing him directly? That It's none of your business, Lu Fengluan retorted sharply. If I hand this over to the security bureau, Lin Ma said, taking out his phone and showing Lu Fengluan the recordings of last night's actions. Lu Fengluan's expression changed drastically, a mix of shock and uncertainty. After a brief pause, Lu Fengluan patted Lin Ma's shoulder and put on a friendly smile. Brother, if you had such good stuff, you should have shown it earlier. Under these circumstances, how can I still charge you for the smoke ghost? I'll just give it to you. Heh, brother Lu, if only you were this straightforward earlier. Besides the smoke ghost, I also want the gambling ghost, frozen to death ghost, and the other 11 wicked spirits you acquired for Clear Wind Tower. You're threatening me? Even if you give the video to the security bureau, it can't prove the killer is me. The recording's too distant to positively identify me. At most, it proves that the assassin isn't Qing Tianda, merely disrupting my plan to frame him, but it poses no real threat to me. Lin Ma knew that these videos alone couldn't coerce Lu Fengluan into compliance. Handing over all the newly acquired ghosts would surely incur Clear Wind Tower's wrath. Thus, Lin Ma backed off a bit. I was just joking. I'll delete the video right now. You just need to give me the smoke ghost. Lu Fengluan nodded expressionlessly. Just as Lin Ma was about to leave with the smoke ghost, Lu Fengluan called him back. If you can help me with one thing, I can give you all the ghosts I've just acquired. What is it? Since the chief of Clear Wind Tower's 13th floor, Chu Lian, died, his chief's waist token has gone missing. If you can help me find it, we can talk. Lin Ma agreed without hesitation. With the smoke ghost severely injured, Lin Ma went to the corpse-raising ghosts gathering pavilion to settle it, then generously told Ghost Scholar, if you need more ghost beads for healing, just let me know. Touched by Lin Ma's gesture, Ghost Scholar's loyalty surged to 50%. Lin Ma was pleased, knowing that with Ghost Scholar's devoted allegiance, the other ghosts under his command would also follow his orders, and Ran understood why Lin Ma agreed to Lu Fengluan's request to find the waist token. But where should we start? Chu Lian's son, Chu Feng, is currently at Ares Academy. He might have some clues. Chu Feng is at Ares Academy? What a coincidence. Without further explanation, Lin Ma immediately recalled Ghost Scholar and, along with Ran, swiftly headed to Ares Academy. Remembering the room filled with ice coffins at Mu Wanqing's place, Lin Ma grew worried. It was daytime, and normally Mu Wanqing would be teaching. Taking advantage of this, Lin Ma and Ran hurried to the mysterious room. Despite the sunlight shining through the windows, the hallway felt eerily cold. They were nervous, knowing Mu Wanqing's strength. A confrontation could be disastrous for them. Lin Ma broke the lock and pushed open the door. A gust of cold wind greeted them, and the sight of the ice coffins sent a chill down Ran's spine. This person must be Chu Feng. Approaching an ice coffin, they saw its occupant was breathless. Strangely, the brown veins on his body still faintly pulsed. As Lin Ma was about to open the coffin, Ran stopped him. Wait, if he suddenly attacks as soon as you open the coffin, we should be prepared. She then summoned Bandaged Ghost, ready to restrain any sudden movements from the occupant. With Ran's caution in mind, Lin Ma carefully opened the ice coffin. A wave of cold air rushed out, and Chu Feng inside started convulsing. He suddenly opened his eyes and leaped out of the coffin, his mouth gaping as if something was about to emerge. Bandaged Ghost swiftly wrapped him in bandages to control him. Chu Feng, in a reflex, clutched at his own throat, appearing in great pain, and Ran urgently prompted Lin Ma, who knows what's inside him. Search him before he spits it out. Lin Ma quickly searched Chu Feng, eventually finding half of a waist token in his pocket. As he wondered why it was only a half, and Ran noticed Chu Feng about to expel something, she swiftly instructed Bandaged Ghost to throw him back into the ice coffin, then hurriedly closed the lid. The symbols on the coffin lid flashed, suppressing whatever Chu Feng was about to expel, causing his veins to bulge painfully. And Ran, frowning in concern, asked, what are these symbols and scripts on the coffin? Probably some kind of forbidden art, but the waist token is only half, Lin Ma replied. Before he could finish, a coffin lid at the far end of the room opened, and Mu Wanqing slowly sat up, startling Lin Ma and Ran. What's going on? Shouldn't senior sister Mu be teaching at the school? Good morning, junior brother, greeted Mu Wanqing, her usually stunning face now looking somewhat terrifying with the same brown veins bulging on her body. After stepping out of the coffin, the veins gradually receded. Next time you're looking for something, just ask me. No need to break my door lock, she said with a smile, though her tone was icy. Lin Ma was internally panicking, but managed to ask concernedly, senior sister, why were you in an ice coffin? Are you feeling unwell? I can take you to the hospital. I'm fine. I just improved the runes and wanted to experience them myself, Mu Wanqing replied, leaving Lin Ma stunned at her bizarre behavior. Lin Ma cautiously asked, senior sister, we've got the waist token. We have some urgent matters, so can we leave now? Don't go yet. And Ran rarely visits. We should at least have a meal together, Mu Wanqing said with a hint of complaint. Mu sister, let's skip this time. Lin Ma and I are in a hurry to exchange our token for something. We'll definitely spend time with you next time. Alright then, I'll treat next time. You two go ahead. Mu Wanqing finally allowed them to leave. Lin Ma quickly thanked his senior sister and pulled Ran by the hand, rushing out of the office building. After running frantically for 5 minutes, they finally stopped, panting heavily. What kind of forbidden technique is your senior sister practicing? It feels terrifying. terrifying, and Ran asked. Lin Ma replied, I don't know either. With our master not at school, no one can really control her. I'm worried that if I somehow upset her, she might just throw me into an ice coffin as an experiment. That would be disastrous. So, what do we do now? Go straight to Lu Fengluan? And Ran inquired. Instead of answering directly, Lin Ma gently stroked Ran's head. Let's eat first. Look at you. You've gotten thin from hunger. His intimate gesture in the midst of the single men-filled Ares Academy caused a wave of emotional collapses among the male students, making Lin Ma's plan spring to mind. He wrapped his arm around Ran's waist and slowly leaned in closer. And Ran, taken aback by Lin Ma's sudden move, especially in public, blushed, expecting a kiss. However, just as Ran braced for the kiss, Lin Ma suddenly pointed behind them and shouted to the surrounding onlookers, I have a girl. Be envious. Be jealous. Ha ha ha. His tactic worked instantly. The system's emotional collapse notification sound crazily echoed in Lin Ma's ears. And Ran, witnessing Lin Ma's over-the-top behavior, was infuriated. She punched him hard in the chest and cursed, Idiot Lin Ma, typical clueless guy. Eating in the cafeteria, Lin Ma sent a photo of the half-waist token he had found to Lu Fengluan. Lu Fengluan responded that a half was useless and urged him to find the other half quickly. Frustrated, Lin Ma tossed the token aside. I agreed to find this token for Lu Fengluan because of Chu Feng, but finding the other half is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Even people from Clear Wind Tower have no clue where it is. And Ran casually asked, what's the use of this waste token? What exactly is Lu Fengluan's plan? It's all about power struggle for the leadership of the 13th floor. With Chief Julian dead, it's either Lu Fengluan or Qing Tianda for the next leader. Killing Qing Tianda directly would raise suspicions. So, if Lu Fengluan frames Qing Tianda by murdering a celebrity, he could ascend to the top without getting his hands dirty, Lin Ma explained, and Ran quickly grasped the situation. So, Lu Fengluan is tolerating the betrayal to play a bigger game. Just then, Lin Ma received a call from an unknown number. A woman's voice came through. Young man, I hear you found the other half of the waste token. Lin Ma recognized the voice. It was Lu Fengluan's wife. Mrs. Lu, how did you get my number? I installed a monitoring device in Mr. Lu's phone. I know everything. I want that waste token. Name your price. Global ghost control. There are hundreds of millions of ghosts in my body. The first season of this manga has concluded. Please stay tuned to Manga Explained for the upcoming second season.